I have a daughter. Her name is Stevie Joy, and she has always had a funny, witty way of saying things that crack me up. One day when she was a little girl, I made a comment about her seeming to be uncharacteristically grumpy and grouchy, to which she replied, "Dad, I think I'm just hangry." Hangry. Well, we've all been there. We've all experienced it. It's that dangerous combo that happens when our need for food exposes an even greater need, a need for a changed heart. And the really interesting thing about that need is that it constantly and consistently returns. If we're fortunate, we eat some food and receive the nourishment and the strength we need for a little while. But then in a few hours, that energy is used up and we find ourselves once again hungry and maybe even hangry. Of all the ways God could have made us, have you ever stopped to think about why He created our bodies the way He did, with engines, so to speak, that don't run on one fill-up and bodies that regularly need to be refilled in order to function? We can't just eat one big meal and be good to go for days on end. And why is that? Well, I think it's because He's using our bodies to tell us something about our hearts and our souls. In the Lord's Prayer, where Jesus Himself teaches us how to talk to God the Father and what to ask Him for, He tells us to pray these words: "Give us this day our daily bread." Of all the things He could have taught us to pray in this most profound and holy conversation with God, He teaches us to ask God for daily bread. Obviously, He seems to be reminding us to look to God and acknowledge Him as our ultimate source for our physical needs on a daily basis. But I think He's also showing us our need to continue to return to Him for not only the physical bread that sustains our bodies, but to come to Him constantly and consistently for the nourishment and sustenance that our souls so desperately need. We need to taste and see that the Lord is good on a regular basis, daily, and even throughout the day. C.S. Lewis says this: "It is only our daily bread that we are encouraged to ask for. The present is the only time in which any duty can be done or any grace received." God has given us relationships and opportunities to have conversations that will feed and encourage us. He's given us great books to read and sermons to listen to, and even resources like this one, Our Daily Bread, to nourish us with what is true. And most importantly, He's given us His Word and Himself, the bread of life, as the ultimate source of daily nourishment and strength for our hearts and our souls.